you for tuning in to another fun episode with your favorite MousekeMoms. Lori, that's me, and Juliana.
Hello.
Jen is sitting this one out as we are talking all about the 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World, which is on October 1st. And your two favorite MousekeMoms, myself and Juliana, will be there on October 1st. Jen cannot make the trip. I think she's a little too jealous that we are going and she's not. So she's not even going to join the podcast here. So we are going to talk about our trip down, all about the 50th, what we are hoping will be in store, and hopefully there will be some surprises as well. But of course, we have to start off with our Mouske cocktail, and of course, we are cheersing to 50 years at Walt Disney World. So what do we got for the cocktail, Juliana?
Well, what else would you use when you're cheersing to 50 years other than champagne? And we're not even talking about sparkling wine. We're talking about the real deal champagne. So there is a champagne house in France, of course, in Champagne, in a town called Epernay, actually, called, it's so hard to say this word, Nicolas Fouillat Champagne. And well, I'll give the big news first. So they bottle a specific bottle just for Walt Disney World. So this is high-end French champagne. It started out as a small champagne house in the 70s, right around when Disney World was starting out.
Oh,
and then like in the 90s, they sold to this big controlled champagne corporation, but it's still run by the house. And the champagne is actually considered pretty good. It's not inexpensive. And the French are very proud of it. And it's taken off since the 90s. And you find it all over the world now. But this is really cool, I think, that Disney has a special connection with a specific bottle. So you can only get it right now at Magic Kingdom at Cinderella's Royal Table and be our guest. Available at lunch and dinner. So it's really cool.
It's not cheap too. So they had pricing, and obviously this can change a bit, but like a glass is going to cost you about $20. So I guess if you're doing a fancy dinner, and the champagne is actually, what's the French way of saying the name of the champagne? Enchanté? How do you say it?
Enchanté.
Thank you.
Channel your inner lumière. Enchanté, mon chéri.
But what I found is funny is they have in parentheses that it's called Enchanted, which is interesting because that's the name of the fireworks that's going to be put on for the 50th.
Oh, that is interesting.
Right?
I think it's just a coincidence because this Enchanted has been sold at California Adventure and Be Our Guest for a while, right?
It's been sold for a while. Yeah. I like
that's a cool coincidence
there, right?
Enchanté.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Really cool. So, and I love that. I feel like I have a personal connection to it too.
You do.
So it's because the bots listen to me. All right. So moving on to what we're actually celebrating, which I'm super excited about. So many of our listeners know, there may be some of you who are not aware, that this is the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
Yes.
So exciting.
It is. And, I think it's really cool. People are, the crowds are going to be big. So I think a lot of people are like, I want to avoid the 50th. For me, I want to be in Magic Kingdom. I want to feel the energy. I just want to be part of the history of that's opening day 50 years ago.
Me too.
And I think it's cool.
I've always been in the camp of like, I'm going to wait a little bit, let the crowds die down, and then go check it out. But I think for the first time in my life, I'm really psyched to actually have a good reason to be there with all the other, crazy people and social media influencers and all that stuff and be in the middle of it. So I'm super excited about that. But it's not over. So it's on October 1st is the day, but it's an 18-month celebration.
It is.
And but we're going for the moment. And so we want to tell everybody and help get maybe some tips from people if they have ideas of what they want to see. We're going to go through our plans for our 50th anniversary weekend. And with that, we'll sprinkle in what some of the offerings are going to be.
Yeah. So we will start. So Julian and I are flying in on September 30th, the day before. We both get in around lunchtime, I think. And I think one of the big discussions we've always had is the Magical Express. So the Magical Express is wonderful. It's free. It is going away at the end of this year, but it drives me crazy. I try, and it just drives me nuts. So I think our plan was to Uber, which is an option for people. If you show up at the Magical Express and the line is 3 hours long and you are okay paying for an Uber, please go do it.
And right. And like the thing is, the line might not look long, but then you have to like you get to the front of the line and then you have to wait for the bus. And then you have to wait for the bus to like be ready to depart again. And then you have to stop at other resorts potentially first. And so I personally have never had a bad experience with Magical Express, and overwhelmingly it gets positive reviews until recently. And I think it's changed. And I think they're just like, whatever, you're not going to get it for free anymore anyway.
Yep.
So we're giving up on the excellent customer experience situation with Magical Express. Plus, I think they've had a hard time finding bus drivers and all that. But anyway, nothing to do with the 50th. Just to say, we are not taking it.
We are not taking it. We are jumping in the Uber. We do not have children with us, and we are on our way.
We don't need car seats. And we want, like, talk about having the magic start the minute you get off the plane. The sooner I set foot in the boardwalk, that is when my Disney magical experience will begin.
Correct. So we will be getting there a lot faster. As Juliana said, we are staying at the boardwalk in. I am excited. I've actually never stayed there.
Neither have I.
Yay!
I mean, I've been to Boardwalk because it's right by one of my favorites, beach and yacht. But I've never actually stayed there. So I'm really, really excited because the times I've gone to the Boardwalk, they haven't been having much of their, to do that I've heard so much about and seen so much about. But so I'm excited to kind of be in the middle of that too.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I've walked through the boardwalk quite a bit when we were down there for a couple months. It's actually where I parked and we were able to pick up quick service things there all the time because then it got me on the Skyliner area. So for people that don't know, the boardwalk is located in kind of the Epcot resorts. So across from, I guess, the little waterway is the beach and the yacht club. And then you're walking distance into Epcot. You're walking into the back entrance of Epcot by France and UK. So I love being there because you get that side entrance into Epcot, which is my favorite. And then on top of it, you are also on the Skyliner, so it's easy to get to Hollywood Studios if you're heading over there as well. So I think what we decided is that, of course, the first thing we do when we get to the boardwalk is get a drink.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that's how we're going to kick off the 50th anniversary trip here, is getting a drink. And I have never been to this bar, but you have, correct?
I haven't, but we've talked about it a bunch. No, it's like, so like I said, I think the boardwalk area is so cool, and I've never really experienced much of it other than what is Big River Bar and Grill, which is great for a burger. I've eaten there and I've walked around and all that, but so I'm really excited to try it out. And I bet our listeners know what we're talking about because we've mentioned it before. It's the Abracadabra right there in the boardwalk. And this is the one, if you remember, that's got like all the magical tricks, sort of like obviously by the name, it's a nod to like Houdini kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. I've never actually been able to go in. We've played around with the idea, but having 3 kids in tow, we just never actually physically made it in there. There are quick service margarita stands that I have hit instead because they are outside and they're a lot more stroller friendly to walk by. But the boardwalk is a really cool area. It's one of my favorites. They had an ice cream place that shut down, but now it's opened back up under a new name. The Boardwalk Bakery is one of my favorite things on that side. So I love getting breakfast there. So I am super excited about that one. The only disappointment right now over on the boardwalk area is that Jelly Rolls is not open and will not be open that weekend. But we did hear it is opening. I think they said it was the middle of October, end of October. There was rumors that it's opening per their cast members. So, but I will walk by Jelly Rolls with a sad face and not be able to go in and listen to the dueling pianos, but that is fine. So after we get our drink at Abracadabra Bar, we are heading over, big shocker here, to Epcot.
No. What's that short? There's a Forky short. What? No. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Anyway, watch it on Disney Plus. It's a Forky short. I think it's called What is a Friend?
What is a Friend? Yeah.
What? Yep. No. Watch it. Watch it, folks.
Shocker. That's where we're going. So
because we can. Can we start out with why?
Oh, we can. You have to tell us why we can.
Because I got my annual pass, finally. I'm so excited to finally be a member of this very exclusive, apparently, club. So, all right, I digress. Epcot.
Yes.
Because I didn't have to buy an extra day's ticket for this. Okay.
Correct. So Epcot, big thing in Epcot right now is if you have not seen, Space 220 is open. I'm a little angry at Space 220. They released they released their dining reservations the other day. Usually dining reservations open up at 6 a.m. Eastern time. They lied.
Well, and also 60 days prior, right?
Yeah,
for
60
normal
days prior.
situations. So
Normal
you're only
situations.
competing with people who want know 60 days in advance that they want that restaurant.
Correct. So this time they released them, 2 weeks before our trip, a week and a half before our trip. And instead of releasing them at the normal dining time, they released them 30 minutes ahead with no heads up or notice. So by the time we got on, we were not able to get a reservation. We are trying. I just paid for a service to try and get us one. So we are trying. Hopefully we'll get to Space 220. I really want to see in there. That's kind of our backup plan. But worst case scenario, we're going to have to go around to the food booths.
Oh, no.
I know.
I do still need to get that brioche ice cream sandwich. I kind of dream about it, even though I've never tasted it. So that's on the list. So what else do we need at Epcot?
So yeah, we had the food and wine booths. Since we have been there, they have opened up all the rest of the booths, which is awesome.
That's right. So they had the food and wine is extended this year, and they did like half the booths up through. It was supposed to be through October 1st, right? And then they were going to add more booths at the end of, I think, the second half of the festival. But I guess they didn't wait. I wonder if crowds were more than they thought, or I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't wait.
I was going to say it would make sense that they released them early because Epcot's going to be busy enough that weekend, and we'll go into why. And I think instead of throwing the new booths open that weekend too, why not just open them early if you can? There's enough going on over there at that point.
Yeah, it just surprised me because crowds haven't been big, and whenever crowds are low, they start closing food booths. So I was just surprised by that. But
I was too.
I'm happy.
I was going to say, I'm excited. They have a mac and cheese one. They have an Ireland one. I want the Bailey's shake that they have over at Ireland. And they had a few of the other ones that opened that looked really good. I want to say it's a Kenya one.
Oh, wow. That would be cool.
Yeah, they had a few other ones that were really different. And that's my favorite part. So, of course, if we can't get in Space 220, I think we'll survive.
I think we'll make it.
Another thing I do want to check out is if you know, Epcot is under major construction all around the center part in Future World. New Creations is the new store that opened up, and it is replacing the old mouse gears. So I am excited to check that one out because it has some really cool exclusive Epcot merchandise.
Yeah, so I was sad to hear that Mouse Gear was going because this was my second go-to shopping spot at Disney. Like, I love shopping at Main Street Emporium. I love shopping at the World of Disney, but in between those two, I ranked Mouse Gears. Like, I really, really loved it. It's big. They had so much stuff. Some stuff you couldn't find elsewhere. Well, that's not always true. I always say when you see something you want, buy it, because even if it is sold at other stores, it might not be. So sometimes I could find things that were out at other stores or whatever. So when I heard that they were changing it and making it sort of a little more Epcot branded, futuristic, colorful, I was a little sad. But now that I'm seeing the photos and the renderings, I'm psyched.
I think it's really cool.
I think it looks like they're going to have like sort of the new vibe, but then I think they're still going. It's such a huge store. I can't imagine they're not going to also have space in the back or wherever.
I'm sure they're still going to have like the classic stuff that you'll find it all across the parks. I just think some of the merchandise they're coming out with for Epcot is it's really neat and it's unique. And I think that's some of the coolest stuff there.
It's cool. It's unique. It's a little throwback, but still futuristic. Yeah. Like, it's really, kind of like fashion is right now. It's like a little 90s, but not really. Like, it's pretty cool. I like it. So we should post some pictures.
Cool. Yeah, we will definitely post some merchandise pictures. I'm excited to see that. And also the cold club, Club Cold.
Club Cool.
There we go. Thank you. I always mess it up. That is open as well. So I'm sure we'll head into there.
This is where you get your free Coca-Cola products and the infamous
Yes.
Beverly.
And
They
the
had to bring this
Beverly.
back. I think we weren't sure if they were bringing it back or not at one
had
point,
to.
but it's such a cult kind of thing with Disney. Like everyone talks about Club Cool, and you literally just walk in there and help yourself to little Coke products from all over the world.
The Beverly. Yeah.
And the Beverly.
And the Beverly. So I think it's a really cool. I'm glad it's back. So it feels a little bit more Epcot there. I know they still have a bunch more construction going on there. But
yeah, I'm curious how much of those walls will be down.
That's what I want to see, because when we were there, they basically sectioned off the entire center, which was kind of a pain when you were trying to get from like, Test Track over to Soarin', because you had to literally walk in front of the ball or all the way in the back of the ball, or depending what direction you were going. So I am curious to see how much is open now more in that center area, to see if people can move around a bit.
Mm-hmm. I know, I'm dying to see it too. So yeah, so that's day one, folks. And you're probably saying, wait a minute, there's a lot more happening at Epcot this weekend, but we'll get there.
We will get there. So that night is the last night of Epcot Forever. I don't think we're really going to shed any tears over that one.
For Epcot for now? No.
Yeah, Epcot for now. Yeah, no. So we will probably be the ones not even watching it.
So I mean, we'll still be at the park.
We'll still be at the park. I'm just not.
We'll be doing something.
Maybe we'll go on Test Track.
Maybe I was gonna say Soarin', but okay.
Oh, we can do Soarin'.
I know you love Test Track, though.
I do love Test Track.
I know.
All right. So yes, that is day one, and we do need to get in to bed at some point at that night.
Yes, because we are getting up B with a capital B, right and early. Dark and early. Actually, we're getting up at dark 30
and early.
Because
if people don't know, I'm not the morning person at all.
There's no. She's not.
I'm a grouchy bear.
So I'm going to turn on the heat at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So Lori will get out of bed. Because Lori sleeps in the Arctic tundra. Anyway, so October 1st, the big day. This is why we're going. This is Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. The park opens at 8 a.m., which means crowds are going to be there by 7 at like a minimum. And but we're staying at a Magic Kingdom or at a Disney resort in the boardwalk. So we get access with everybody else who's staying on property, right?
Yes.
At 7:30.
Yeah. So
which means
is the first day.
6:30.
Yep. This is the first day they're doing this. This is the first day the extra hours are back.
I'm hoping a lot of people don't know about it.
I'm really hoping some people just flat out forget. I don't think it's going to happen, but and I do expect there to be some kinks that morning for them to figure out, because they're going to have to scan magic bands or scan whatever to make sure that you are a on-site resort guest.
It's not like they haven't done this before, though. Like they, usually, I bet what they'll do, here's my prediction.
Okay.
I bet they'll let everyone into Main Street like they used to.
Yes.
And that, because they don't want everyone crowding around the entrances. So you go through security, you'll get, into Main Street. And then they always just had the ropes in front of the lands. And they might let just people scan people as they were going through the ropes. The thing that I think will slow it down is that magic bands are no longer complimentary for resort guests. So there's going to be people looking for their key cards or whatever. That might get annoying, but I'll just push those people aside.
Yes.
Jump over them, knock them down.
Knock them down and show the magic bands.
And show my magic band.
So yeah, I think the one part that I am most excited for is to see exactly who's going to be there and if they're going to do something special for that morning. Because really it's the opening on your 50th day. And of course the Bobs will probably be there, and yours and Jen's favorite Josh will be there. And it'll be interesting to see if they're going to line Main Street, if you're going to have executives lining Main Street and welcoming people in, or what they're going to do that day.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Because if they don't do anything, I'm going to be upset.
I can't imagine they won't do anything. So I've never been to a celebration like this at Disney before, but I have in my head like a big day. Like I have in my head, like, sure, the rides and stuff are going to be going on in the background, but I'm picturing like constant exciting stuff going on, news like crews and stuff. I mean, I know I'm probably out of my gourd, but this is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing opening day at Disneyland on Main Street and in the hub most of the day. And there's the stage right in front of the castle, right? I'm assuming they'll utilize that. And then didn't they build another?
So they put a small stage that's surrounding the partner statues. It is a legit stage from the pictures that I've seen. So why did we create the stage? Because now your people are further away from that partner statue. So they had to put that stage in there for something. So that is going to be curious to see why. I know that they were filming stuff for the 50th last week, because ABC is doing a special on October 1st as well. But that stuff has been all pre-recorded. So the stage is still up. So I don't know what they're going to quite do with that one.
I'm dying to know. And so
right?
What should our strategy be? I'd love to hear from the Mouska fans. Do we just park ourselves in the hub all day? Do we, and if so, I'm not against this idea. No. If so, where? Where do you, I wish I knew, because if I knew what the right thing to do was, I would just make it happen. No problem.
This one's a little hard because I don't think we know everything. And there's so many more questions than we have answers for on other stuff too. So it opens up, we get access at 7:30. So I think our game plan was to be there at 6:30?
At the latest.
Yeah. So people ask all the time, what do I do when I need to get there early? And are the buses running?
Good call. Right? Good.
So this big question. Here's my thing. Yes. Will the buses probably be running at 6 or 6:30 that day? Probably. I don't want to take the chance.
Because technically they don't run until an hour before the park opens, which would be 7, honestly.
Correct. Well, they should give access at 7:30. So the buses should technically be running at 6:30 in the morning, but we already want to be there then. So here's the backup plan. Everybody asks, how do you get to Magic Kingdom? Because obviously you're on the monorail.
Right. You're on the you can't Uber there. You can't Uber there. You can't drive there. I mean, you sure can, but it's not taking you to Magic Kingdom. You've just added an extra 30 minutes and not saved yourself any time.
No. So the workaround on this is that you can actually take an Uber to the Contemporary. The Contemporary is the closest walking distance to the Magic Kingdom. So I've done this before where you take an Uber to Contemporary and you walk from Contemporary over to Magic Kingdom. It is the only sure way 100% that I can pretty much guarantee when I'm going to be there. Now, on the side note, are the Ubers going to be absolutely insane? I don't know. So
maybe we leave at 5.
I was going to say, we might just park it at Contemporary for a while and enjoy a nice coffee and food and then start walking over at 6
I'm not even joking. Not even kidding.
So
but what driving me crazy though is I have no idea what I'm going to do when I walk through those gates. That's what's making me crazy. I know I will be there as early as I need to, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where to go. I just don't.
Yes. So anybody watching our lives on the 1st, please ignore my cranky demeanor. My crankiness will probably go away around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So please ignore that one. But the other big, huge question that we have that day is they said Genie and Genie Plus would be ready to go by the 50th. And we've heard nothing.
Well, Lori, the 50th is an 18-month long celebration.
I understand that.
This is the thing that I like, in addition to the pomp and circumstance of the 50th, we really want to show you and learn for you what this Genie business is all about. So so we're just going to park Lori somewhere and I will go play all day. And then I'll just come back and meet her.
It'll be fine. No, we are going to, hopefully there's Genie is running or Genie Plus is running. Because regardless, even if we want to get on a few rides that day, that park's just going to be insane that day. Absolutely insane. So I'm hoping something is more for the fact that we get to figure it out and learn about it so we can tell everybody else. Worst case scenario, if it's not live, Juliana's back in 2 weeks after that. And then you're going to have to be the guinea pig.
That's fine. Happy to. Yeah. I'm taking actually a personal trip a couple of weeks after this one. So I'll hopefully, if I'm not an expert in Genie Plus before then, I will be when we get back.
Yes. So that's another big question on how we're going to continue on with our day. A few things that we do know. We do know that there's going to be a new cavalcade. which I'm excited about. It's Mickey's celebration, and it will feature all of Mickey and his friends dressed in their new 50th costumes, which will be awesome to see. So we'll see if the other cavalcades change a bit. I love me Tinkerbell, but I'm a little sick of Tinkerbell and her music. I know, I'm sorry. I love her. I've heard her music and hers. It's just her up on a treasure chest. I can't take it anymore.
I know, but I love her so much.
I love her too. She's very cute. Her energy is high. I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I wish, I'm hoping they switch or they mix some of those cavalcades up. But regardless, we're going to get a new one. We're going to see all the characters in their 50th gear, which will be awesome. If we don't see them before, again, in my head, I'm picturing all of them like welcoming you as you're walking into the Magic Kingdom on the 50th.
Maybe they'll be up on the train station platform.
Yeah.
I mean, not a maybe. That's a sure thing, right?
It should be, right?
But there should be. I want more.
I know.
Disney.
I want more too.
I do love the cavalcades. I'm going to miss a parade on this day because I feel like a parade is like the ultimate celebration. But what I love about the cavalcades, I've said before, is that you don't have to plan for them unless it's boo to you and you need to see every single one. Talking to you, Jennifer. And they're super fun. I really enjoy them. You don't need to plan for them. And they're just a brilliant way of avoiding those mad crowds gathering hours before a parade on a super busy day. So I'm grateful for that. But I will miss a parade. But I'm sure they're going to make these cavalcades even extra special.
I'm excited to see these. Another thing I'm super excited for is the merchandise. I'm a little angry at the merchandise this morning.
Very angry today, Lori. Do you need to talk about it?
A little angry at some things here. But the merchandise released. It's releasing early. It's released in the week prior before the 50th. Something's released, but then there was this iridescent.
So does that make you angry, the early release? It makes me a little angry because the hoarders are going to buy it all.
Oh my God.
I made the effort of being there for the big moment, and now it's not even special.
They're killing me. I've seen you have no children with you and you're bringing a stroller in. That should be red flag number 1 on why they should not be coming into the park.
I don't understand. Like when we were there for the opening night of Boo Bash, like there were people doing this, and it wasn't even exclusive Boo Bash merchandise. There was no such thing. And like people are buying. I don't understand why they don't stop them. I don't understand why I didn't think it was allowed. I don't get it.
It's not. They've limited it to like 2 per person. But the problem is you have these big groups of 15, 20 people that walk in, and they're all part of the same company that's trying to resell all this merchandise. And they're all doing 2 per. But then they're also not watching if they're hitting one register in the first 30 minutes, and then the next 30 minutes, the same person's hitting the next register.
But they have a cart with all the stuff together.
Correct.
Nobody says anything. If Disney really wanted to stop it, they would. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I will say, if you see people doing this, boo them, because that's where I'm at with this. Is stop it. Just boo them.
Lori's opinions are not endorsed by MousekeMoms or Kingdom and Cruise Travel.
Well, you know what I saw? So they came out with this purple Starbucks tumbler. And it has a 50 emblem. It is gorgeous. And
very cool.
I thought it is on eBay now for $300.
That's the thing. It is infuriating. So, and for us that love Disney, merchandise is a big thing. Even for us who are casual Disney people, you want to be able to get if you're making this once in a lifetime or once a year or whatever family trip to Disney, and you want that special moment souvenir, but some jerk is buying them all so they can price gouge. It's infuriating. I wish they would do something about it.
We will move on from continually bashing these people.
The next thing that makes you angry about merchandise, tell us more.
The next thing that makes me angry is they just announced that the Iridescent Collection, which I was the most excited for, and the Iridescent was the pale pink spirit
she said
jersey.
Pink. She's excited for pink.
I did. I know.
She's excited for pink. Oh my God.
There was other ones. But I was most excited for this collection, and they just announced it's not releasing until mid-October to end of October, which it's really
super disappointing.
Again, we are putting the effort to be in there on October 1st and deal with the crazy crowds and deal with all the crazy Disney people that will be there, including ourselves that's in that group. And you're not releasing all the merchandise.
Maybe they're just trying to keep us crazy people away.
I
don't know.
But
don't they know we'll just come back? Well, anyway, I'm going back 2 weeks later. I'll look for the Iridescent Collection for you.
Yes.
So the Iridescent Collection for our listeners, it harkens to the new the 50th castle design a little bit, but also the costumes that the characters are wearing.
Yeah.
So the merchandise, it's all this whole like pink and blue iridescent theme. And I am still floored. Is that the word? No, does that mean angry or excited or shocked?
A little both.
That Lori just said she was excited for the pink iridescent spirit jersey.
No.
You said it.
I am excited for the Iridescent Collection. I will
millions
not be
of listeners,
purchasing.
Lori. You said pink spirit jersey.
I will millions. Not be purchasing the pink jersey shirt. I don't wear pink.
But you're excited about it.
But on a side note, too, the Iridescent Collection, the colors are based, like you said, on the castle, which are also the Kingdom and Cruise travel colors.
Which makes it especially special for the three of us and all of our fans. Those are our logos. Like, coincidentally, by the way, we did not know this when we made it, but same year we launched and everything. So
I know.
Super exciting.
Anyway, so I'm sure we'll check out the merchandise. We will show that. I need to find out if they are still doing keeping your purchases at the front of the park so I can make all my purchases and they can hang on to it for me.
I think they are.
They'll be a lot. It's not gonna be good.
All right. So, but there is one thing that I believe is debuting on the 1st.
Yes. Wait, which one are you talking about? The fireworks?
Right? Yeah.
The fireworks? Yes. 100%. So the big thing, which I think
we will be first for that.
We will be first for that. So I think this is a big reason why a lot of people are going in here if they're not huge about the history of Disney and just wanting to experience it, is Enchantment is the new fireworks show that will be premiering that night. The different part about this, which we had talked about before, is this show. So the current castle or the current show right now, Happily Ever After, goes just on the castle. So sitting on the hub grass has always been my best spot because you're seeing the castle. Now, Enchantment is running on the castle and on Main Street. So all the buildings on Main Street, per the renderings, have all this, displays and projections that are going to be going on it. So now we're a little confused on where to sit. So we are going to figure out exactly where to sit. Whether, hub grass has always been my favorite. One, it's a perfect spot to sit on the grass and relax. For people that don't know, my favorite spot is in front of Casey's Corner. There's a little hub grass area. You can sit there till about 10 minutes before the fireworks. And then as soon as the fireworks go off, they do make you stand up and kind of move forward.
That was what I was going to ask, though. Isn't that area now... They're doing dessert parties again? Where do they? Oh, there's that.
They're on the other side. They're on the plaza side.
Tomorrowland Terrace, like by Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yeah, so they're over there. So my thing is, I love sitting there because one, the hub grass is comfortable. It's a little itchy if you're wearing shorts. Jen went through that whole thing for like 45 minutes. But it is a comfortable spot to sit in. So, but now I'm like, are we going to miss part of these projections going down Main Street? So now, where do you go?
I think that you got to stay. Well, so one of my recommendations for people, even with Happily Ever After, which I feel like for that show, especially with, and I've P.S. I have hesitated ever saying that Tinkerbell does her thing at Happily Ever After because I never want to ruin that for people. But with the Tinkerbell flyover, all that, the hub was just the place to be. Absolutely 100%. But for families that were like, I can't deal with all the crowds, I want to hightail it right out of there after the show, then you need to be back by the railroad station. And that's not a bad place to start because you can still see all the projections and whatever and the fireworks. So I'm thinking that that's where we need to be. We need to find ourselves back there somewhere.
I know. My problem is, though, this will be a lengthy conversation that day because my problem is you mentioned Tinkerbell. If Tinkerbell does not fly during this new show, there will be outrage. So
maybe they'll come up with something else.
Oh, she needs to still fly.
Oh, no,
she does. I know. This is going to be tricky. If you remember Wishes before and the other shows, like Tinkerbell has flown regardless in these past shows. So I would think that she's going to fly again. So it just makes it, I don't know. We're going to have to find a spot that we can still see Main Street, still see the castle, and still see Tinkerbell. So it'll be a lot of conversations that day.
Well, maybe if we sit in the, we could sit in the back of the hub. We'll still see, because all they're going to do is just projections down the building.
We might just sit in the back of the hub. That's my thought, while we're eating cheeseburger, egg rolls, and Casey's hot dogs and everything else, because I'm pretty sure that we're going to have to find the spot for the fireworks at like
noon.
Yeah. It's going to be a lengthy wait.
You guys, you are going to experience it all with us.
Yes.
All right. So then we see the fireworks.
Yes.
We go back to, we haven't even discussed, like, do we want to ride rides? We don't even know. We need to find out what Genie Plus is going to do. Our main purpose here is just to be a part of the moment. So shopping,
realistically,
sitting,
we'll probably
eating.
end up on the People Mover.
Again. No, I refuse. Anyway. So then we'll be so exhausted because it's going to be like a 20-hour day.
Yeah.
And the next day is a big day.
Yes. So we will head back to the boardwalk. Tip, the fireworks are at 9. Park doesn't close till 10. I tell this to every single one of my clients. Do not leave the park after the fireworks. It is mayhem. The buses are insane. The boats, the ferries, everything's insane. Just go for one more ride, or just go sit by the castle for like 20 more minutes. Just let the big crowds get out, because the park is still open till 10. So we're going to have to either just stay seated if we have no more energy left, or I might run to Splash Mountain. Either way. But then we head back. All right. So October 2nd, it's a big day because we are heading a shock again to Epcot.
In fairness, it is a big day for Epcot that day.
So Epcot's big day is actually the 1st as well, but obviously we're picking Magic Kingdom over Epcot, which rarely happens.
Well, it's a big day because we can be there.
Yeah. So Epcot has 2 things going on as of October 1st. The first is that Remy opens up officially to everyone.
Ratatouille, yes. It's I'm so excited. So I have seen some POV footage of it, and it is the exact same ride as in France, from what I can tell, and like down to the mixed language. It's in both languages. I am so excited to be with you when you ride this. It's great. It's absolutely great. I love it.
Yes. So we have to figure out again how we're going to do this ride. Is Genie Plus going to be open? Are individual attractions going to be running where we can purchase it? Are we going to have a virtual queue for it? So we're waiting for information on that. And the other huge thing that's starting on October 1st over at Epcot is Harmonious is finally premiering. If you've seen the big, huge, as I call them, the huge taco barges that are sitting in the lagoon, we finally get to see what they do. So they've shown previews of this. It looks really cool. The music looks awesome.
I am so warily excited about this. Like, it looks like the renderings look amazing. All the equipment looks like it must be doing something cool. But I've never been impressed with an Epcot nighttime show.
Either have I.
I said it.
No, either have I. Illuminations, I was not a fan of.
Like, there's no nostalgia factor for me.
Nope.
Like, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I would rank the Main Street Electrical Parade light years above any Epcot show I've seen.
Yes. Yeah. None of them have been my favorite. I've probably seen full shows at Epcot maybe twice.
And it's never mattered to me because I've always just been able to walk around Epcot with my beer and sort of hear the fireworks from the side and not really care. I use the time people watching, and everyone's standing to the side, so you can usually walk around. Yeah, not my bag. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yes, I am excited because it looks like they're putting some type of history and story into it. So the songs they've released, it looks like there might be some characters and some stories into this. So I am excited. And those god-awful barges are so ugly that this show better be absolutely amazing to make it look ugly all day long.
Yeah, so Lori's talking about these like big barges that, since they've been, planning Harmonious, that are just sitting there in the middle of the, what's the name of the lake?
I know, I forgot.
World Showcase Lagoon.
There we go.
And they're a little unsightly. The lagoon's
they're ugly.
Pretty.
They're real ugly. They're ugly.
Eyesore.
Yeah. There's 5 of them and they're ugly. And the big giant taco is sitting in the middle. and then you have the little circles going around it. It's not pretty. So I'm hoping that the show is so amazing that I'll be like, oh, I forgive you. I forgive you for looking ugly during the day.
Yeah, I'm warily excited for this one, but I'm excited for the new France pavilion. Well, the pavilion's not new, but I'm excited to see how they've expanded it. So I'll admit, like, the France pavilion has never really excited me before. I was never even a fan of the whole French thing. I've obviously changed my mind from recent experience, but so I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to check it out.
I'm excited that the Remy area, Ratatouille area will be open, and the new crepe place will be open, which looks awesome.
So beyond excited about the crepes. I'm glad you mentioned that because I had forgotten. That is a must on my list is to get a crepe. So the crepe restaurant's interesting because it's a table service and a walk-up window.
Correct.
But there's no reservations for the table service.
Not right now. Right now, from my understanding, it's like a virtual wait list. So you walk up, you put your name in, and they tell you about how long the wait time's going to be. So it'll be interesting to see from people. Obviously, things have been slow. So people haven't waited very long, but I want to eat inside.
And I'll tell you why. Not just for the experience and all that. The menu's more full. Like the outside menu, there's only 2 or 3 crepes you can get. And the one I want is on the menu inside.
Which one do you want?
I don't remember. I just remember that. You know, the details. I just need to know that I made a decision and I don't need to remember why. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But
it's going to be amazing.
There's a savory one that's not on the outside menu, that's on the inside menu that I want to try.
There is a couple of savories. No, they look awesome. I'm a big fan of crepes. So for sure, we're definitely going to have to go there. And so we will be in Epcot all day. It opens up at 9:00, which made me a little
Oh my God, you guys. You should have seen Lori's face when she realized this. What was it, yesterday? She's like, what does it mean 9:00? Because we also get access at 8:30, and you can be sure that this morning mama is going to make that girl be at the park at 8:00. 8:00. Opens at 8:30 for resort guests. Because Epcot's been opening at 11. So remember how it used to be Future World opened at 9, World Showcase opened at 11, which was always great for me. And then, post-COVID, PC, they've been doing 11 whole park.
And it's been wonderful.
This particular weekend, however, 9 a.m. for the whole park. I wonder, I'm assuming the World Showcase as well will be open at 9 a.m.
We'll see about that. I don't know if the booths and that will be open.
Probably not, but France used to open at 9. Yeah. France and Norway used to open at 9. So we'll see. I'm excited. And it's just a walk. It'll be beautiful. We'll get a bakery, coffee, and whatever you want for breakfast. And we'll stroll over to Epcot by 8. And we'll stand there. We'll walk right into the World Showcase from the back.
Again, guys, ignore me before 11 o'clock in the morning.
So you guys will only see a lot of my face in the morning.
Because I'll be cranky with sunglasses
Because Lori will not know how to smile. Okay.
All right. So that is Epcot. Obviously, we're seeing Harmonious at night. Harmonious right now is premiering at 10 p.m., which they shut down at 10 p.m. So it is a later night, which fine by me. I'm going to
be asleep.
You'll be asleep. See, I wake up at nighttime. I'll be your nighttime girl.
I'll be asleep under a topiary and wake me up when the show starts. No, wrong festival. Wrong festival.
You'll be asleep underneath some apples orchard somewhere.
There you go.
There's a good spot in Canada. We'll head there. All right. So that is October the 2nd. We will see Harmonious. We will be going live on our Facebook page on our Facebook page for Harmonious and for Enchantment. So you guys can see those. And then we still have kind of a half day the next day. So the next day is Sunday, October 3rd. And we're going to do it. Because we have our annual pass holder over here now.
What time are our flights? I can't keep track of all my trips.
Our flights are not until later that night. So they're at like 4 or 5 o'clock at night. So we made park reservations as of like yesterday for Hollywood Studios.
And will we be taking the Tragical Express?
No.
Not even on the way back to the airport.
No.
The reason being, so I often take it, but since we started this earlier, I often take Magical Express on my return day because I don't usually plan to go to the parks beforehand, and they do pick you up 3 hours before your flight, which is really early. But I have pre-check. Do you have pre-check?
Yeah.
So we'll just Uber because I want to go to the park. And
Yeah,
you started to say why. Okay.
I started to say why. So the reason what you said was the 3 hours before you have to get back from the Magical Express. But the big thing is because we're at Boardwalk, we are on the Skyliner. So we can get to Hollywood Studios and back, grab our luggage from Belcheck and grab an Uber and get to the airport. So we are heading to Hollywood Studios because this girl needs to get on Rise the Resistance.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
We are going to try everything in our power to do this. And I am even at the point of if that stupid wait time is like 2 hours, we are going to grab some drinks and just
I'll wait 2 hours.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're going to do it. We are going to do it.
Yeah. You know, I need to digress a little bit about this whole Rise of the Resistance situation. Can I complain for a second?
I mean, I've complained quite a bit, so go ahead.
I'm going to complain about people here for a minute. All of you people that get 8 million and 10 and post your pictures of your Rise of the Resistance boarding groups and how you get it every time. I wish you could see my face right now. It's not nice, okay? We're not lesser people just because we're not lucky.
Yeah.
And it's Lori's fault anyway.
It is not my fault last time. I took control completely away. Anyways, again, we talked about Genie Plus, but they've already said Rise of the Resistance is going to be an individual attraction purchase. So I'm hoping it's working by then, or the virtual queue is back, because as of right now, the virtual queue is suspended as of tomorrow. So
right, and we don't know when they're going to start the other part of it. So
yeah, we don't know.
Maybe they'll start it tomorrow.
Maybe we'll find out.
I don't know. It's so interesting stuff coming out. Oh, by the way, so
we're recording this early.
Yes, I was going to say tomorrow is really,
yeah. We're recording.
We've got a lot going on. Okay,
we have a lot going on. We recorded it early. It's fine. So
yes, we don't know much about Genie just yet. If we do, we'll definitely update before this airs. But we really 100%. Just wanted to talk about planning the trip and Rise of the Resistance. We'll figure it out, but I'm getting on it.
We're getting on it. And the only other thing I want to try is they have a Wookiee Cookie that I keep seeing pictures of.
I have one question about the Wookiee Cookie. I have one question. What took so long? Like, how did they not come up with a Wookiee Cookie until now? It's the best name ever.
It's amazing. And the pictures are glorious. They said it tastes really good. And Hollywood Studios already had the carrot cake cookie that is amazing. And now they have a Wookiee cookie, and they had the Num Num Jack cookies. So they're like cookie central here.
The cookie park.
It's the cookie park. So I need to get a Wookiee cookie. So we need to find that. So I know we're going to try that one. I would also like to go to the Tap House, which I've never been to.
Oh my gosh, I love the Tap House. I'd love to take you there too.
Yeah. So I think we need to do that one too.
But you don't like beer.
I like cheese.
And cider?
And cider.
Okay. They have cider. And I think they even have like pre-mixed frozen margarita kind of things, but it's just a cool place. I really like it. Yeah. And I can already taste my Ronto roaster.
Yes.
My Ronto wrap.
What we didn't talk about is we don't have any dining reservations currently. We are still trying to get Space 220. We are also still trying to get in Magic Kingdom. For people that don't know, Magic Kingdom is so busy that day. There is not a single dining reservation inside that park.
Since 60 days out. Just none. Gone. I have been, I really, 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 really want to go to Skipper Canteen. So I'm stocking reservations for that. I'm confident that one will open up.
We'll get it. So yeah, we don't really have anything planned per se. So we're going to try and get that one and try and get into Space 220, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. Normally we like to have a dining reservation or two for a short trip like this. But I think just with so many variables and so we'll just roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, Epcot, we usually don't get dining reservations, but Space 220, I'd like to see that. I will say though.
And the creperie.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that one. Lacey Lear was beautiful last time with Jen. But I'm still going to get my soup at Food and Wine Festival. So we're good.
All right.
Alrighty. So yeah.
What was it? There was one other thing I wanted to say about Hollywood Studios, and I can't remember, which is a shame. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Yep. So we'll see. I mean, maybe Hollywood Studios will switch up their cavalcades too. We'll see. Maybe I'll take you on the Tower of Terror.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll just be riding high from 50th anniversary excitement, and I will ride the tower. I have to ride it again anyway for my daughter. She has decided that she's going to do it next time. So
we'll figure it out. All right.
Although if it's an individual attraction selection, I might be like, sorry, baby, it's too much. Oh, that was what I wanted to ask you.
Oh,
before we wrap up about Rise. If in fact Genie Plus and individual attraction selections are live at that point, and we know this is going to be, I'm going to call them IAS. We know this is going to be an IAS. Charge it a fee. We don't know how much per person to ride it.
Yeah.
What's your number?
What I think it's going to be.
What would you not pay? You've already ridden it.
I've already ridden it. So what I think it's going to come in at is about $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I think it's going to come in at. I would probably pay. I mean, I've been in on it, so in my family, it depends the situation, but I would almost go up to 30. I mean, if it truly meant that you paid and you don't have to wait in line at all.
Right.
I would, but it would also depend on a few factors of how many of those other rides in Hollywood Studios are individual attractions.
Right.
How many are under Genie Plus.
Right.
So it would kind of depend, but
depends on who you're going with, how many people you're paying for at that time, what your priorities are.
But I'm gonna go with $12 to $15 for Rise.
All right. I thought higher. I hope you're right. I don't know
if they can go higher because they already stated that Genie Plus is $15 per day per ticket. So I don't know if they can go past that $15 because they've kind of labeled that. And we'll see. We will see. But yes.
I don't know. Very curious. Yes. Lots of questions about that. I just wanted, just with Rise in particular, and the fact that I've never been on it. Like if it's $50, I might still pay it, but I wouldn't expect you to. So
I was gonna say, I think at that point it should be a company expense. I mean, you got to get on it, right?
She said that with a straight face, you guys. Anyway,
listen to this and be angry?
We love you. So, is there something you're most excited about?
I think just Magic Kingdom. I am excited to just be there. There's every YouTuber, every social media is going to be there. I'm excited to see who's going to be there from Disney themselves. I think a lot of past cast members, obviously the executives and all that will be there. So I'm hoping they don't let me down and just do this day as a normal day because they're celebrating it for 18 months. And I hope they put a little more effort onto October 1st. That's my hope, but I'm excited.
I couldn't agree with more. You said it perfectly. Yeah. I'm really just excited. I really just picture myself sitting somewhere and just watching it all happen around me. And I'm so afraid that's not exactly how it's going to go, but I'll adapt. We'll be fine.
I will say, if it does go the way I hope, I am not a crier. Dear God, Jen crying when she saw Happily Ever After, shaking, I could not handle. But if they do treat this as the day that it should be treated, you might get a tear or two out of me. It might happen.
I actually was thinking the same earlier. I'm a pretty ice cold person, but just kidding. Thank you for laughing because that would have been awful if you're like, she's not nice. No. But I think that this might get me. Yeah, no. And then Jen can make fun of us as the day is long because I think so.
Yeah, I think it might. So yes. All right. So what is the Mouse Get tip?
All right. So pretty simple. Make sure you follow along on our Facebook page. We are going to be experiencing all of this for the first time, and we want to share it with all of you. So check us out, Disney Planning and Chat by MousekeMoms. And of course, our Instagram, MousekeMoms_podcast. For all of our live footage, there will be a lot. You can pick and choose, I guess, but why would you? And follow along for the first. This is big. Follow along for the first viewing of Enchantment. You're going to want to watch it with us. And if Lori cries, I'll be sure to get it on video for everyone.
Right.
For everyone.
For everyone. All right. So thank you for spending another episode with us. If you have enjoyed another crazy podcast with us, please be sure to subscribe to our show so that you can receive notifications when new content is released. And so you never miss an episode of us, because every single one is absolutely amazing.
Riveting.
Please consider writing us a review on Apple Podcasts as well. And that's it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.